Yeah. Shut up. Oh my goodness, kid. All right, cool. Mic check. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. All right, cool. So make sure that's good. Everything looks good. Nice. So I'm looking at price right now. There's not much to work with, which sucks. I was hoping to get a position going into the open, but you can see prices hanging out inside of this previous weekly gap here. And now I'm wondering, all right, okay, well, maybe price holds these zones here. All right, but from what I can see, we're just chilling. There's not much to work with right now. So we have this. Okay, there we go. Hmm. So yeah, not much to work with. The one thing I can say is here we had this bullish fair value gap get tapped into. Yeah, I want to take a look at this this zone here. So we're taking out that London high. Nice. So with London high being taken, let's see what happens down in here. So we have, let's zoom in here. So what I'm looking at is, how did price respond to this bearish move lower? Right? We had this bullish fair value gap hold up once, push back into it, holds up again. Where did price return from? Price pushes from here, right? So we ping pong from low to this bearish area and then retest this bullish area, and now we should break through here. Looks like price is trying to. We'll see if it wants to try to do like another ping pong type of deal where it does this, right? But for now, it looks like price is bullish. We respect it here twice, all right? And then now this was the first drive into this bearish gap. So I'm looking at this area right here for some sort of structure. Nice. So yeah, you can see price officially breaking through this high here. You got this high, this low, this high, this low, right? And then price breaks both highs, and now you're seeing price use both as your area of interest. All right, let's see what happened here at 9:30. I can pretty much erase these. These are the levels here I'm most interested in here. 9:30 open, drives back into this area of interest, break structure beautifully. With that break of structure, let's take a look at ES. Where's ES? Move these drawings, go back to the 30-minute. Let's look at this level here. All right, cool. Massive divergence right now. So this is going to be one of those sessions where you have to give it a little bit more time to play out. Because naturally, I would want to look for shorts. You see this down close candle, you see price push back into it, fail to go higher. So you have areas in here that have shown clear resistance, but you want to see how current session price action responds to these levels, right? So giving it a few more minutes, we should see price either close strongly above it to try and go higher, or price could start printing a nice wick to go back lower. But for right now, I would say there's not much going on. Not much going on. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Good day to everyone. Good day. Let's see if we can start this week off hot. Let's check out gold and silver, because as I mentioned last week, I will be trading gold. And let's see here. Not really much to work with here. Hourly chart. Yeah, the charts are just out of whack right now. What's going to happen is give it maybe about 10 a.m. Let me check the news forecast 1 second. So today we have no important news on the Forex Factory. So I'm anticipating one of those like slower type of days, but at the same time, it looks like price may be having a bullish type of profile right now. Let's look at the overnight session. Asia low gets put in. We tap into that previous weekly low, and then you see a nice trend. Let's look for the weekly levels here. Weekly levels. All right, nice. So we're pushing up to this previous weekly high on ES. That right there in itself could create a lot of selling pressure. All right. These previous weekly highs up in this area have been beautiful rejection levels. Sweep a high, reject, sweep a high, reject, sweep a high, reject. Let's see if price wants to reject off of this previous weekly level. And I can go down to like the 5 minute. Yeah, nice. So we just took out that previous weekly high on ES. Now we get to see the market's true colors here. Why is price so strong right now? Interesting. Because if you notice over here, gold is responding from this level here. You see this beautiful fair value gap here. It's responding very well from this level. And then over here, you see that silver is in some sort of bullish gap as well, responding A-OK. So those look very bullish if you ask me. Let's take a look at them. Let's see here. I may even be able to draw up a buy. Let's see. So I'm watching these two candles here next to that down close candle. And I just want to see what happens. All right, so there we go. Right at 9:30, we get no real pullback, bro. That's the part that's sketch right now. 9:30 fails to really manipulate this area, right? We know 9:30 could give you a Judas swing and flip. But as you can see, 9:30 just barely taps into this area. Really nice, though. So if you're bullish, you want to see these types of levels hold up. Mark off this level here. And then 9:30 drives into this level. Wait, let me do this as well. Go back to the 30 minute. Where is it? Okay. You want to mark off these candle body prices here. So what I will be anticipating, I want to see 9:30 drive back into this red line zone here. Anything in between here. Silver does a good job of it, right? You see silver driving, tap this red line here, break structure. So now on a pullback, if price can give you that unnecessary pullback, right? The manipulation pullback, if I can see something like this, I'm interested in higher. If it wants to just run away here and give a clean shot higher, then I'll miss that, right? But with trading, you guys should be accustomed to the fact that the market will literally just manipulate for no reason. So when you see a clean setup like this, I'm looking and I'm saying, where's the manipulation? I don't see it. So if you're patient enough, you should be able to see another drive back into here just to manipulate before going higher. And that'll be what I'm looking for on gold. So I'll set some alerts down in here for gold and silver. All I need is for one of them to try and manipulate. So cool. That's that. Got a couple alerts set there. Looks extremely bullish, which should lead to some downside over here on this indices. We should see some sort of rejection start to step up here. So what I'm going to do is, let's look to our left here. Everything in this area is extremely bearish territory. Looking at ES, right? what do you guys notice, right? We have this. This is considered a gap, same as a bearish gap. So we have a bearish gap here. Price drives into it, break structure, pulls back, break structure again, right? And then we tap into here, and now this is your chance to see, can the buyers break through this bearish area of interest? So here's the moment of truth. Price is driving into it, hasn't really broken out successfully yet. Right now, this could literally turn into a wick. So you have to wait for price to close, which is about 18 minutes away. And then from there, clearly there's even more bearish structure ahead. So this is a clean short opportunity, right? You see price overextending into bearish territory. Just wait for some sort of exhaustion on the higher time frame and then start looking for a trade. As I mentioned before, we just did not pull back at all. All right, we had this level here, this level here. And I'm just looking for some sort of bearish move off of that. And there goes gold and silver. Wait, what's, that's NASDAQ going off, sorry. NASDAQ alert going off. So we're taking this, oh, well, I guess I had an alert set on my chart from a previous session for NASDAQ. But what I'm looking at down here is really what started the move. If you zoom in, NASDAQ should give you a better depiction here. What I see is we had this bearish gap, we drive into it, close a nice wick, and we start to show some rejection here on this 30-minute chart at 7:30. But when you zoom to the 5-minute, you see 7:30, we put in a high, put in a low, put in a high, put in a low. So this is where price showed that there were sellers, and then we just completely absorbed them. This could have been a buy. I could have bought this, but I would just want to see literally, right? So once we take this high, you see price break this high. Okay, let's go to the 30-minute one more time. Yeah. So once price breaks this high, all I want to know is, how does 930 respond to this new bullish area? This was a bearish area. 5-minute, very obvious. Once we break it, I want to see 930 pull back and offer a break of structure. That's exactly what we get, right? 930 pulls back to this black line, break structure. I guess you could buy that, but that's just, I'm looking to buy it down here. Ideally, I want to buy it down here. So when this pulls back and breaks structure, I'm looking for that retest of anything in here. So once we break this high, what I like to do is simply pull out my Fibonacci. So once we break this high, I want to see price pull back underneath the discount. We pull back right to 50% for the most part. Yeah, I would have wanted to see price pull back here or even deeper, just because there's so much here that price could have swept out, right? Just playing it safe. And because price doesn't pull back, that leads me to believe that it's about to start selling off whenever it feels exhaustion. All right, so we'll see. I'm chilling for now. Not much for me to do. Silver alert going off on silver. There we go. Here goes some pullback action. So I'm gonna watch gold as well. All right. Make sure that, yeah. So yeah, looking to see what would this look like, you know. Yeah, so this could literally be the pullback. I don't like that gold hasn't shown much pullback yet, but this could be that pullback. You get that 930 drop. This is exactly what I would have wanted to see. If this was happening right now on ES, I would be in a long here, right? Remember, we had an area of interest pre-market. You want to see pre-market stab into that area of interest like it does here, break structure. And then once you break structure, you want to see price immediately turn back to manipulate. And once that manipulation is in, you want to see price start to turn again. And that's the trade idea right there. Maybe target like 1.5 R. If this was ES or the NASDAQ, right? Because this is silver and I don't trade silver, I'm not going to take this. But this is exactly what I'm looking for on maybe gold, right? If gold gave us something like that, a deeper retracement, I'll try gold. I never trade silver, so this is like a tape read here. I would anticipate lower for gold and then maybe, you know. But for now, everything looks extremely bullish. And we know how that can flip, especially since it's only 947. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Does this take off here? As you can see, I'm going to sit on the 30-minute charts here. And just give price a chance to do his thing. The one thing that I'm starting to notice about this like 30-minute chart, if you look, every single move pretty much starts with some sort of exhaustion or a rejection candle. Like it's really that simple when you think about when is price going to turn around. Just look at it. Like let's say you're waiting for, you see this big move up right here, right? And you're like, I'm just waiting for a chance to sell. If you wait until you see a bearish 30-minute candle and you start trying to sell, look at the move you're presented with. And then vice versa. If you're bullish, let's say you want to see price start to turn bullish. If you simply wait for a bullish 30-minute candle, look at the opportunity that's presented, right? And it was almost so obvious when I noticed this that I'm like, there's really no other way to really trade. Like anything else would overcomplicate things. If you see a move up like this, right, and you're like, all right, I want to sell it, just wait for price to give you 30-minute bearish candles, and here you're presented with sell opportunities. Whether you get a clean sell in here or maybe up here, who knows? Doesn't matter. But same concept applies if you're bullish, right? You're like, all right, we got a nice break of structure. I want to see price pull back and give me some bullish closures inside of a gap maybe or at a discount. So you could either try to buy this bullish setup where price gives you this. So you zoom into here and try to find a good setup. There goes your buy. Or you wait for a discounted move. You get that bullish closure and you zoom into here and you look for buying opportunities. It's like every single time you won't catch every trade, right? That's impossible. but you will be on the right side if you have your plan, right? Your typical trending plan or a reversal plan, whatever type of trade you were looking for, right? Are you looking for a reversal after we take liquidity, or are you looking for a continuation after a pullback? Those are the only two styles that you should be trading, right? You sweep this high, you're a reversal trader. I'm looking for a reversal. Boom, wait for a down close candle. And what do you know? You get a beautiful reversal. If I'm a continuation trader and I'm just waiting for price to fill in a gap, look for a buy, wait for a bullish closure. Boom, there goes your buying setup. Another buying setup inside of the same gap. All right. Now we have a bearish gap. Let's start looking for bearish opportunities to go lower. There's one. Maybe you short in there. Let's say you get stopped out. You wait for another one. There goes the next opportunity. Bingo. And it's rinse and repeat from there, right? So that's why when I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, this morning looks trash, because when I look at the setup going into the market open, all I see is bullish closures. I don't see anything bearish whatsoever. I could have tried to buy down in here, but like I said, I was bullish as long as price would have given me a clean retest. Price doesn't want to offer the retest. 2026, don't chase it, right? Just don't chase it. And then let's check on silver, see what silver. Look at this, bro. This was a nice trade. It's interesting because gold is not showing any weakness right now. It refused to give us that pullback. You get 930, doesn't even uh, actually, yeah, it did. It retests this. So you can see how strong gold is. Oh my goodness, this is a nice trade, kid. I start seeing more of this on silver. I'll start trading silver, but essentially I would just trade gold because silver contracts are ridiculously expensive. So if you see a good idea on silver, maybe you can just copy it over, right? Instead of buying silver at 945, just buy gold at 945. Which that's not always the case. It's not always going to be that simple, because gold and silver do diverge at times. But from what I can see here, if I'm being very, very, very surgical, right? If you're paying attention to all of the details, you can see, like I mentioned, I had 3 levels drawn out that I wanted to see hit. Ideally, I like to see these levels, the red levels, get hit, because these are like the closing prices and opening prices of the previous 30-minute candle. So typically you'll see price retest that, right? But we didn't today. What do? We used this this bullish profile where we have this low, this high, this low, and then we make a new high, and price uses previous resistance, right? This was previous resistance. I support at 930, break structure, pulls back to a discount after retesting, pulls back right to that exact level that I would want to see hit, pulls back right into it, and then shows that aggressiveness for you to buy at this turn, something like this, right? And you would just hold it because it's gold. You want at least 1.5 R, maybe even 2 R, right? What stopped me from entering? The fact that when we retested 930, break structure, as I mentioned, I like to see these red lines revisited as a preference, right? Just so that I'm not caught buying too high and then I get stopped out because price wanted to revisit one of those levels. But silver, on the other hand, gives you a better representation of what it should look like. Look at how silver re-enters this red line. This is beautiful. This is literally textbook. Same trade we took on Friday, right? Same trade we took all week. Same trades we've been trading all year. But I've pretty much narrowed down some certain reactions that I want to see for the A+ setups. And this is it, right? And it's beautiful because you get it right at the open. which is my new trading window. 9:30 open. If you can master that volume, you're going to be almost unstoppable. And so far, so good. We've been doing pretty good since the switch. Just got to keep it going, right? Because this is the time, excuse me, this is the time where all of the big moves happen. So if you're positioned on the right side of the market at like 9:30 or so, you're going to catch a massive move more times than not. All right, so what I'll do here is I'll just go back to the 30-minute, clean up my chart here. That was a very nice trade on silver, which, like I said, I don't trade silver, but I know what I'm looking for. Let me do this actually. SIL 1. All right, yeah, so let me do this. There we go. Now let's see how this would have shaped out if I would have taken this trade down here. What would that look like? It was a buy around here. TP would have been, oh, maybe I can trade this, yo. Stop loss would have been, right? That was the trade right there. It's like 750, 1.5 R. Bro, I can't trade silver. You can trade silver. I don't know why I was under the impression that these contracts were way too expensive. I can trade silver, kid. Stop below here, 700. Target, as I mentioned, 1.5 R. That's your trade right there. Okay. And even gold is pushing as well. So how many points would this have been here? Let's see. This new feature on TradingView is so clutch. It's basically like the Top Step X platform where you can just draw your trades up, figure out what you're going to do in advance. And which is why Top Step X is so convenient, right? So this would have been the trade, and you want to change this to like something like that. That's the trade on gold. Oh my goodness, kid. This was the set. This was clean. This was very clean. If gold hits TP here, guys, that's a really good start to the week, if you ask me. Tape reading heavy metals here. Drew this trade up beforehand, right? So it wasn't like we're just sitting here playing hindsight. This trade idea was drawn beforehand, and silver was the one that offered the best setup. So silver would have been the trade offering 1.5 R in no time. Yeah, this was 5 minutes, 8-minute trade and done. And silver is on my list now. It'll probably take me a few days to actually start putting positions on, because we technically don't need it, right? I don't need to be trading this. But when I see a clean setup where gold looks clean, silver looks clean, and then we look over here on the NASDAQ, and NASDAQ's over here looking drunk, those are the times where I can trade silver and gold, right? But the most you can use, I think this was just convenient because the lowest you can go is one contract, and I was buying it literally at the perfect, how many points is this? The perfect area, right? Where my stop isn't that big. My stop is only $725, which is still bigger than normal. I normally only trade 500, right? But it's not terrible. I can go maybe $700. Not terrible, right? Especially if I really like the setup. And then you have 142 points, I think, or ticks. I don't know how that's measured, or cents. I don't know. But realistically, this is a very, very solid setup because you can cover the lows with 700 bucks and then you can walk away with 1,000. So yeah, I'm actually gonna screenshot this, drop it in my notes for future reference. 142. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Excellent, my friends. So yeah, I need to see that. So yeah, certain setups you can't take because your stop will be too big, but this one falls 700 bucks or less that's okay with me. Start hammering out some home runs on silver. That would be fire. Wait, actually, let me draw this up, right? Because I think I drew it up on a different chart. So it was this, as I mentioned, right? If you're bullish, just look for a bullish 30-minute candle before you even think about trading, and you'll win much more bullish ideas. Right, hypothetically speaking. So here we have this low here. Make that red. And I'm just looking for price to build structure off of that low. All right. 5-minute chart. Do we build anything? All right, nice. So we have this breaker where this low should be maintained. And this body is where you want to see retested. All right, you see how clean this was, right? We have this same profile drawn up on ES and NASDAQ, but you can see that they never return. Same as gold, right? It doesn't return to this yellow zone like silver does. Silver gives you that retest here with this 930 open, and all you need to see is a clean break of structure from there. 930 open, let's highlight that. There it is, bang, break structure there. Mark this off, bang. All right, nice. So we just closed our first 30-minute candle. Let's see if this next candle here can give us a bearish type of exhaustion, and then this will be where I'll start looking for my shorts. So for now, there's nothing for me to do for the next 30 minutes, but to sit back and wait for some sort of exhaustion to enter the market. For now, I'll just drop this silver trade, screenshot it, add it to my notes, because this right here is a beauty. This is a beauty. And look at how quick it delivers to your target, much faster than ES, much faster than NAS. So this will be dream come true type of a setup. You have the break. Once you break, you need to see price pull back. What did it pull back into? We pulled back into the opening price or the closing price of this down close candle. Right? Beautiful. Can't complain with that. Make this red. All right, and then back to the 1 minute. Pulls back into it, and we have this opening price right here. Forgot to put that one. There it is. Bingo. Pulls right back into it. And from there, this is where you get your confirmation. A strong move off of that retest there. Stop, safe place. Pull this over like so. Bring this down like so. And there it is. All right, so that'll be definitely taken the next time I see one that's clean. I'll definitely give it a try. Download and then screenshot. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? All right, cool. So that's that. Here, I'm just grabbing these screenshots because when I tell you this is the type of speed that you trade for, silver and gold are the best when it comes to actual volatility in futures. So yeah, where are we at? I need to kill some of these indicators. There we go. That'll do it. All right, cool, cool, cool. So this is your breaker. Sometimes it's just so obvious, right? It makes you think like if trading was this like clean, trading would be so easy. It's the market's ability to just completely discombobulate and do random nothingness. Look at this run, kid. All right, so another screenshot here. And I don't know many people that trade silver, but the people that I do know, they love it. So and gold as well. Where is it? All right, and then one more, and I will move on from here. But like I said, we're chilling because we still need to wait for ES to show us some exhaustion. So there's really not much for us to do other than check out heavy metals. All right, so as I mentioned, this was the area of interest. We see this continuation profile where price can push into a bullish area of interest, create up close candles on the 30-minute chart. Essentially, you tap into it. All of this is your fair value gap. Tap into it. You have multiple areas here, and then here's your most recent area. Price even started offering this move a lot earlier, right? I'm sure if you zoom into here, you'll see some structure that price literally just retested and goes higher. And I think gold was the one sitting inside of a gap. Yeah. Nice. And look how weak gold is compared to silver. We still haven't hit 1.5 R yet on on gold, but cool. Get this screenshot. Erase this. Erase this. Erase this. There you go. Really clean screenshot. Download. All right, cool. So that's that. Put these side by side. See how these end up panning out. And head back over here. Beautiful rejection so far on the indices. All right, look at that. More bullish pressure stepping into the market. Gold. What are you doing over here, buddy? Wait, so let's see. Where did gold reject off of? Okay, it did. Okay, I forgot to put one level on here. So this opening price is where gold rejected. All right, when you get that 930, break a structure. Price pulls back, barely missed it. You can say it didn't even hit this red line, but silver did, and that was clearly enough to carry gold higher, as we can see. So very, very quick. Like, this is the type of stuff, like, yeah, like, you can trade, you know what I mean? You can look at a situation, you can say, hey, this looks like it's gonna be bullish. Let me find a good price to get in. And price actually delivers in no time. Like, that's trading. You know what I mean? You don't deserve to have really good analysis and then enter a trade and then the market decide, I don't want to go anywhere right now. But you're right, buddy. We're bullish. I'll be bullish for the next 2 hours. But in the meantime, I'd rather take out your stop. Like, that's just, like, that's terrible. You don't want to trade that type of price action. I'm telling you guys, heavy metals are starting to win me over. And it's only going to be in certain type of political environments, right? When you see there's a lot of tension going on, when war and all that type of stuff is on the table, that's when you want to focus and start investing into gold and silver. If everything in the world looks calm and steady, then just focus on indexes, right? 12 minutes left. So what I'll do is I'll step away just so that I'm not staring at this screen, waiting for signs of. Nice. So as long as the silver setup is within, I think it was 140 points, 140 ticks, or whatever the case may be. 0.73. Okay, so that's how I would read it. You would read it here. This is your range. This will be 76 cents. As long as the stop is within 70, let's see, 65 and 70 cent, I believe it was. Let's see. So yeah, about $700 stop here. Really, you want to cover this low. So that's $800. So really, it's about a, yeah, that would be perfect right there. As long as silver is less than 70 cents on the stop loss, you know, then we can trade it. We can trade it. Then we can trade it. And here goes gold. Gold may give us an entry, right? Gold may actually retest these lows down in here. This red line, this red line, this red line. And you see the lock here, meaning that if price gets up under here, I don't want anything to do with the buys. Get out of my face. You know what I mean? So, wow, price is ripping, kid. No signs of exhaustion. Wow. So, what's happening on the higher time frame, right? We've taken out that weekly high. Oh, wait, let's clear this up. Hide off. So, we've taken out that previous weekly high on both now. Let's go to the daily. So we have this previous daily high sitting right here. Friday's high, which we're about to take on NASDAQ. ES isn't there yet. So I'm just looking at where could price be racing to, right? What's in this area? But from what I can see, if you look to your left, there's a lot of bearishness here. We take this high, dump, take this high, dump, take this high, dump. So the more we take out these daily highs in this area, you got to think lower. It could end up pushing all the way up to here though, right? Because I remember ES makes an all-time high here on Tuesday. Exactly. But NASDAQ failed, and now you see price push right back up without making a low here, right? You hold this low, you start pushing back up. That could tell you maybe NASDAQ wants all-time highs as well. If that's the case, man, we have a long way to go. So we'll see. So yeah, this just looks like price maybe in a hurry. Like you got to pay attention to the urgency as well. It is very early. It is very early in the session, so you don't want to like just fall in love with buys, but you start taking notes and saying like, all right, if we can start really pushing through these wicks in here with strong like hourly closures or 30-minute closures through these highs, then that's telling you there's a lot of momentum and price could end up wanting this weekly high right here, right? So just take it for what it is. Price is extremely bullish. Gold still hanging out. Silver, bro, look at silver. This trade just brought back what? One contract on silver, 68 cent stop loss, and you hit a $2,000 trade in 1 hour, and your return is $1 and right. Let me make sure, because this would be 68 cents should be $700, right? Yep, perfect. So you basically hit a $1.81 move. Well, actually, $2 move. Yeah, so you hit a $2 move here on silver, going from 110, 145 to 112, 145. Bro, this is actually simple. I don't know why. It's like when you see something different, you be like, bro, what are all these weird numbers, digits, blah, blah, blah. But once you actually sit down with it for a few minutes, it's just as simple as everything else, right? These are operating in cents. So you got 3 digits here. So you can even do a half a cent, I would assume. So it could be 68 fives. Let's see. Actually, no, you can go all the way down to, yeah, so 68.5, right? So yeah, you're only getting that half a cent. So you get 73 cents even here, 0.730, and then you can go 73.5. or 72.5, and then so that is a bit weird, but maybe I can just type it in here. Stop size. Oh yeah, that'll be cool to know too. So 68 cents is how many ticks? So profit level, stop level, 135 ticks is considered to be 68 cents, and $2 is 400 ticks. Right, yeah. About $2, a $2 move here from entry price 110, 135. You can go 145. Yeah, 110, 145, and then take profit 110, 145, 400 ticks. Nice. 400 ticks is a $2 move, and 68 cents is 135 ticks. And that's the maximum size that I would trade, because that's about a $700 trade. And if you wanted a tighter stop, right, $500 would be about 50 cents. A 50-cent stop loss, $500. Let's go. All right, cool. Oh, here goes some exhaustion. Exhaustion. Ooh. Let's see. Do all the bull traders get exhausted here? Because when I'm trading, right, and I see that gold and silver are holding effortlessly bullish, like there's nothing bearish going on here. Look at silver, bro. I might fall in love with silver, kid. But see how strong these candles are. We got bearishness on gold, but that's really irrelevant. We have 2 minutes left, right? So look at that. Look how fast time flies. This candle closes in 2 minutes. We're getting some strength on silver. So what I want to see now is, all right, price looks strong. Price looks strong here on gold, and we're still pushing to the highs, right? So I would look over here, and I would want to see bearishness start creeping. You know what I mean? I would want to see bearishness start creeping. There it is, yeah. And where's the bearishness stepping up? After we've taken out this previous weekly high. Here's Friday's high. After we tap into this area here, which was unmitigated, right? You start to piece it together, right? We have this bearish gap here. And as always, I include from the gap all the way up to the top of the candle. And from here, we also have another one, right? There we go. Fire. Look at the exhaustion, guys. And look at the clock. It's beautifully timed. A doji candle is the same as a bearish engulfing or bearish dark closing candle, right? So this is the first step to my short. All right, let me get ready here, because it could happen fast. It could happen fast. All right, cool. So hope you guys are still tuned in. I hope everyone is having a good session so far. It's only 10:30, so no trades for me. I'm actually about to zoom down here and look for some sort of short. Let's see which one's weaker, which one's stronger here. At the market open, we saw no high being taken, and then NASDAQ fails to take the high. ES takes it out. NASDAQ is weaker. NQ weaker at open. All right, that's going to be my cue to trade NASDAQ. So I'm going to zoom in on NASDAQ here and look for a clean reversal profile to send price back lower. There we go. I can start transferring these over here. All right, nice. So I'm interested in maybe retesting this 930 open price. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is, all right, cool. Let's see what happens here, man. Getting that push back into that territory. All right, nice. What do we see inside of this exhaustion? High, low, high. So we haven't made any new lows. Let's check ES, right? Yeah, nothing. And this started at what time? 9:30 to 10. And then from 10 to 10:30, which is where we are now. One more line. These lines just help me know exactly what candle I'm looking at, right? This is a 30-minute candle. This is a 30-minute candle. So far, there's no bearish structure. All right, you just see this inversion right on the 5-minute. But if I go to the 1-minute, I should be able to find some sort of bearish profile that's setting up right now. And I just want up close candles to be broken and retested. So far there's nothing. There's nothing, right? You see the exhaustion, right? But you need to see some sort of bearish structure. If I look at this 10 a.m. Actually, let's go just the 10 a.m., not 9:30. So if I go 10 a.m. to 10:30, well, actually, no, yeah, the 9:30 is a part of it. What are you talking about? Yeah. 9:30 candle closes. 10 a.m. candle offers nice exhaustion, wick rejection. However, when I look inside, I'm like, where's the bearish profile? There is none. The only thing that looks bearish is this high right here, where we have this up close candle. We close through it, but without the retest, I can't validate this level. All right. I need to see price retest this level and then reject again. And that'll tell me that, yeah, this is where the sellers are about to take over. So far, all these up close candles were failed to be retested. So this is where you wait for a retest. And then we have, like I said, the high, the low, the high. We need to see price make a low. So this level right here being taken out would make this short very obvious. You got a high, a low, a high. You need a new low, right? For a breaker. That's where your breaker steps in. And as I mention all the time, there's two concepts in ICT that actually, number one, show up the most, and number two, have the best actual accuracy when it comes to bias, right? The number one is going to be the change in the state of delivery, where you just literally, you're reading how price is responding to up close candles or down close candles. Right, so like here, you see this up close candle up here. Imagine that price retest this up close candle and it just fails to break it, and then you see it break this low. That's your change in the state here off of this up close candle. We change states of delivery and we begin to use bullish candles as resistance to go lower, right? That's a change in the state of delivery. That concept alone will help you spot reversals every time. And then you have the next concept, which is the breaker, where you see price trend high, low, high. That's your trend. We're trending up, high, low, high. And then you see price hit something that's bearish on the higher time frame and then break that upward trend, giving you a potential downtrend now. For now, you can see the low, the lower high, low, lower high profile, right? So now as we wait, I'm anticipating price to reject up in this area, ideally, right? And then I also understand that it's 10:30. When we opened up this 10:30 candle here, I'll mark that off. Right, so when we open up this 10:30 candle, what would you say? You would say that there's no bearish breaks in structure. So now I'm gonna give price 30 minutes to confirm what I'm thinking. Price should start retesting in this new 30-minute candle and showing me bearishness. If it does that, that's where I'll start drawing up a sell idea. Silver, gold, wasting people's time over here. Look at gold. Gold gave you 1R and turned around. But as I mentioned, as long as these candles are closing with strength on silver, I would imagine price just keeps going higher. Gold is just about to give you another chance to buy it, bro. Look at this, bro. I may buy this here, kid. Hold on, let me see. What does this look like? A nice strong reaction from this level here. You see it clear as day. Let me make sure there's no breakers over here on the downside. High, low, high. That's tough. There is a breaker sitting right there. Let's see. I think I'm gonna buy this, kid. Let me see here. What would this be? Not 5. Let's go 4. 4 contracts there. So yeah, if price starts closing pretty bullish here, I may be interested higher. We're retesting 9:30 on gold, retesting 10 a.m. on silver. Silver looks extremely bullish. Stop down in here. Yeah, kid. 4 contracts. I'm gonna actually take this, kid. Let's see how this candle closes here. Don't run like that, bro. Just give me a basic closure. All right, yeah, let me zoom in over here. And what would have been my target? Let's see. 4 hour. Oh, did we take out? Oh no, we still have this 6 to 10 a.m. So yeah, my target would literally be this high right here. Let's see here, draw. What's going on over here? All right, nothing, we're chilling. And the reason I like the longs here is because gold looks bullish and we're about to hopefully give a clean buy signal on gold, meaning we could also look for the shorts on NASDAQ. All right, notice we're still rejecting here. I want this as my draw. Where is the note? Oh, there we go. Draw. There's my draw, and I think I have to take this, guys. Yeah, let me see here. 13 seconds. I'm long in that. And my entry price is 5,081, targeting. Wait, hold on. Something's not right. TP. SL. There we go. 5,084. All right, cool. And then I'm looking over here, like I mentioned, if you're not a fan of heavy metals, I don't blame you. But let's see what happens now that we're tapping into this area here. See if price actually starts respecting any of these up close candles as resistance. And I am thinking, like I said, I already have certain areas drawn out, right? So it just makes it easier for the whole trade idea. As long as I see rejection from these up close candles, either on the 5-minute or the 1-minute, any 1-minute candle in this range, which you can see we're showing rejection already. And gold is leeching. Come on, bro, chill out. And I want to know what price I got. 5,083.6. Right? Yeah, 83.8. how many points would this be? This would be $11, right? 83 to, yeah, $11. 83. Let's say I got 84. 84 is my entry, and stop is at 72. So yeah, that'll be a 12-point stop. $12 stop. And you're looking for a 17-point. Look at gold. Oh, it just ripped. Did it rip me? Big pro. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it just ripped straight through there. Oh my goodness, kid. All right. Well, next trade will be definitely on ES. That's dirty. Imagine this still rips. I like the reaction here. I like the reaction a lot here. But like I said, some setups play dirty, bro. We already showed failure to go higher, so I don't know why price would take forever here, but not that big of a deal. VIP dodged the bullet there. I wasn't able to convince myself to send it to VIP. So that's that. I think that might be it for crypto today, but we'll see. If it gives another clean setup, I'll probably take it again. So you see price pushing to here, break structure. Beautiful. That confirms that we are bearish. And like I said, this could literally rip, which is so lame. It's so lame. Maybe price wants to wait for silver to push back into a bullish area. You got this level here. All right, yeah. I really don't see how this is bearish. So, like I said, sometimes the delivery could be trash. However, if you start to see some bullishness show up on silver again, I may try that buy one more time. Here we go. Nice breaking structure on the 1 minute, confirming this level here. Now you're just waiting on that 5 minute to give you really nice. There it is. Beautiful, right? Beautiful rejection. And what I'm noticing is it could take a while based on how these candles are. Based on how these candles are developing here, you would say that, for example, right, if this is my exhaustion candle, I expect price to show more bearishness after driving back into it. However, this candle still closed bullish, so that tells me that the next candle has the opportunity to close bearish first and then offer the next candle to follow through, right? So this candle could essentially be accumulation, right? This could finish what was started here, because as you remember, right, when I was looking at the first two 30-minute candles, I didn't see anything bearish on the 5 minute and the 1 minute. Now that we open this new 1030 candle, this is the first sign of bearishness through this entire move. So that's telling me it could take another 30 minutes to an hour or so before you start to see that real bearish pressure, which is fine. You just got to give it a little bit more time to unfold here. High, low, high, low. High, low, high, low. Like you can see price starting to show some sort of resistance. So I'm watching it closely here. Make sure I mark off these levels as well. Hold on. So we got this level here and that right there. Perfect. We have this right here, this right there. Perfect. There goes gold again. I think I'm about to buy it again, kid. Yeah, I'm back in, guys. What is this? 580. 25 seconds left. Let's see if we can break this 10 p.m. price. And then I'll go with the same thing, a 12-point stop, looking for about 16 points. Yeah, bye. Bye. And that'll be 4 contracts, right? And I'm actually going to signal this one. This one has to go. This one has to run here, if you ask me. TP stop loss 581. Points. All right, come back to that later. And I want to see more rejection over here. All right, you can see how I'm like using both charts to draw up the same concept, right? I'm bearish over here on the indexes. So that means I'm free to buy gold, understanding that gold has been acting as a hedge against fear in the index markets, right? So this is, like I said, this is where you want to see price start to sell off. Honestly, you can start putting sell trades in if you're anxious to short. You can literally just start shorting. All I want to know is how this 30-minute candle will close here. And we have 11 minutes left in this candle. Cool. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? You can see the rejection, right? You can see price is showing you what's about to happen. Come on, gold. I need you to just rip for me one time. Like just pull one of what silver did, right? You see how silver hit this red line and showed really nice strength off of it. Same thing here for gold. We showed strength the first time I try to buy it. We sweep out the low, and now we're showing more strength. You don't want to see price continue to sweep, right? You just want to see price deliver. And that's the only reason I would trade heavy metals, is because there should be faster deliveries. But we're about to see, man. You don't want to be longing ES right now, though. So I'm just waiting for price to show us. As I mentioned, right, because this candle was bullish, that was a clue that maybe this reversal could take a little bit longer. You know what I mean? And here we go with more upside. I like this level here as a liquidity draw, because now, as you can see, there's going to be a fair value gap sitting in there. 1 minute chart pushing right back into that bearish territory. So I want to see if price does get above it. I just want to see it sweep it and fall. You know what I mean? Because I'm almost convinced now that NASDAQ is wasting time and we're about to see a clean flip. All right. So what do you notice is forming here? We have the high, the low, the high, and then we've put in a low here. So this is a 5-minute internal breaker where this high right here should serve as resistance. Should be that lower high, right? So put that up there. High, low, high. Same thing over here. I would want to see this level create lots of wicks and things of that nature. All right, so I am going to drop down to the 1 minute and just see what happens here. And also there should be, okay, yeah, so there's just wicks in that area. Gold, what are you doing, kid? All right, so we're chilling. Waiting for something bearish to happen over here on ES. Waiting on something bearish. And NQ was the weaker one. Nice. So here we go. This is the moment of truth. You want to see more, and then I can start to refine this area to like this high up here. And over here we see this up close candle seems to be doing the most damage. Price can't break through it for the most part just yet, right? And we still have 7 minutes left in this candle. So we'll see. Give it a little bit of time here. I'm gonna step away. There goes that high. Let's see if price can reject this high. Bro, I don't like this, bro. I want to see strong rejection here, guys. With some sort of SMT, that'll be clean. I guess there is a world where both of these are extremely bullish, because look at this reaction. Look at this reaction. You're going to start to see a 5 minute breaker now where you get the high, the low, the high. I'm sorry, you get the low, the high, the low, and then you get this high. You need to see price definitely show some rejection here. Otherwise, this is going to be a very bullish closure here. This is going to change everything that I just put in, right? Everything was built on a bearish idea. So this is going to offer a flip of all that bearish structure. If you strongly close through it, I need to see some sort of wick soon here. Crazy. Crazy. So, all right, yeah. If we start closing through it, I may just have to wrap it up when it comes to the short ideas for now and just wait for more bearishness, because I'm not bullish on these indexes right now. That's just me. I am not bullish. If I am bullish, it's because I'm buying low, right? In no world would I want to be buying up here. That's just me. Unless it's a metal, right? A heavy metal. All right, gold. You can buy gold anywhere. You can buy gold at all-time highs if you want to. That's a completely different scenario, right? But indexes, the closer we get to these all-time highs, the more bearish I will become. Beautiful rejection so far. I need to see more rejection on that. There we go. There we go. That's not terrible, right? There's going to be times where you see price break a range and then crash right back into it. Still be bearish, right? So and that's what I'm looking for here. And as I mentioned, this sell could take a long time, just knowing that these candles still have a lot of buyers in them. So it could want to squeeze out a little bit more. Nice push here on gold. Unfortunately, it had to stop me out. I don't know, bro. Maybe, all right, so maybe there was, let me see here. I keep forgetting. Sometimes the market will do that, but we just didn't see that here. All right, sometimes when you see a bearish gap, you guys know, I say it all the time, a bearish gap, sometimes it's best to wait for price to interact with that bearish gap, because you'll get that temporary sell-off just for fun, because it's a bearish gap. There's sellers sitting in there. You'll get that temporary sell-off before that gap is destroyed. Silver, on the other hand, it didn't even bother to do that, right? This bearish gap was ran through, no problem, flipped, no problem. Here, gold, my first entry, I had my stop underneath here. It literally wicks me out by maybe what, like $2. And then the re-entry is presented, stop in a safe spot, targeting about 1.3. Actually, no, my target is further away. Target is about 17 points for 1.5. All right, so that's that. Don't even really want to look over there. I'm more interested in how gold affects. Okay, yeah, look at this kid. Yeah, I'm more interested in how gold is going to affect the price action over here. I know most of you guys don't trade gold. So as always, I'm looking at the indexes as my #1 trade ideas. And there goes that rejection. I just need to see price get back underneath this yellow zone here with some speed. That'll let me know. And then looking at the higher time frame, we have a few areas of interest, right? We have this bullish fair value gap, which is going to be my draw. Price looks strong, but it can't go up forever, right? So I'm looking for price to maybe pull back into this imbalance here. So that'll be my draw for short term, but long term, I don't think we're bullish. So I think price will end up right back at these lows. It just depends, right, on if NASDAQ wants to make an all-time high before the bearishness kicks in. So I'm open to the buys, right? As long as I can get a good entry price, like let's say price was sitting inside of a bullish imbalance, then I would be looking for a buy. But anytime price overextends, like what we see here, I will instantly be bearish, no matter what, you know. Floating $9 here. Move my stop up just a little bit. And I just want to see speed higher. I'll put an alert up here for this high because price could play games at this high. But we did leave a bunch of relative equal highs in this range. Even have this massive high up here. Price, it's probable price could want to take all that, right? So what are we seeing? Come on, come on, come on. I want to see some heavy rejection here. We have 1 minute left in this 30-minute candle. I want to see heavy rejection here. If not, price could maybe try and hold this and break structure. So let me get ready for that as well, right? Where price completely flips the bearish idea. It gave you really clean bearish structure. Flips the bearish idea and start using this market structure shift level here as support to go higher. So what you would want to see is, let's see here. Yeah, so what you would want to see is you want to see price offer a new 30-minute candle to retest this level here. All right, so look at how this 30-minute candle closes. It's crazy. This is crazy, kid. I don't want to be bullish. So yeah, I'm gonna let the buys go without me. It's that simple. I just don't want to be bullish up here. I feel like at any moment price could crash lower, but you can see, all right, here we go. Price is giving you a bullish profile, even at these extremes. You're about to see a new 30-minute candle open, retest this bearish breaker high. This should have been that lower high. We're retesting it here on NASDAQ. And if price taps into here and starts breaking these highs, that's a bullish profile. I don't really care to trade that, so I'll let the buys go without me. Very, very simply put, right? Very, very simply put. And maybe if we're patient, this 30-minute candle, right? You guys know I like to build a profile from the 30-minute chart. So maybe this 30-minute candle here, which just opened at 11, maybe this can close bearish and then open the door for my shorts. But for now, price is struggling. ES looks weaker, right? We're still underneath this high on ES. And price is starting to get back underneath that that market structure level here, this lower high. You see, we break it to sweep. If they can get back underneath and start respecting it, that opens the door for the short again. Waiting for gold to TP out here. You're seeing that speed higher. You just want to see, obviously, a follow through these targets up above. I have my alerts set at these levels, so I'll go from there whenever those hit. Looking for gold to break 10 a.m. So the power of 3 comes into play again here, where you see 10 a.m. opens lower, retest everything in here, holds up pretty nicely. And if 10 a.m. wants higher instead, what's the next 4-hour high? The next 4-hour high is here. So that's where my TP is. All right, there we go. Breaking those highs now. See if we can get some speed straight to TP here, similar to silver. Oh my goodness, silver. Yeah, guys, I think gold is going to be the new breadwinner. All right, that's about 15 points, 16 points there, VIP. You can go ahead, TP hit. 16 points. Yep, 16 points hit here. And that's that. Like I said, that next 4-hour high is way up there. So do I want to take this? No, I can't trade crypto. I'm sorry, I can't trade gold the way I would trade NASDAQ, because NASDAQ is a scamming artist. Heavy metals are actually based on like supply and demand, right? Whereas, there it is. All right, TP hit. Beautiful trade. Let me screenshot this. Another excellent example, a delayed example, but excellent. And there we go. Look at this pressure stepping up here. I think we're going to get that short. Let's just be patient. But excellent example. It's just a delayed buy, right? Because when you ask yourself here, why wasn't gold retesting the key level, right? Instead of taking off without it, price decides to wait until 10 a.m., trade back into it. And here's where you see that retest of the level that was already drawn out, right? It was already laid out for us, and the trade was just begging us to be patient, right? The trade was laid out, the idea was laid out. Now you just need to be patient for a pullback. Like I said, it was kind of delayed because it should have retested here and given us a trade earlier this morning. Instead, at 9:40, it waits all the way until 10:40 to give you that retest. There goes your buy. I took 2 attempts at this, so it wasn't the best, but I still ended with some profit. And maybe I could have waited a little bit, but like I said, like you can't really play hard to get with these type of setups. When you see everything you need to see and price starts to respect the level, just give it a chance, buy it. If it wants to stop you out, who cares? If it goes back right after that, get back in. End of story, right? So first trading day with gold in the books, and it was I can't complain too much about it. Let me download that, and let me go to the 5 minute. And while all this is happening, we should see some bearishness. There we go. We should see that bearishness start to take over. All right. So like I mentioned, it could take a while. So I'm not gonna rush into it. I need to see that 5 minute start breaking structure here, getting back into bearish territory before I even consider shorting NASDAQ, right? Or ES. All right, gold. Pop that back open. All right, indicators. Excellent trade. Yeah, about 12 for 16, right? Much R was that? 1.3 R. All right, so what was my setup? Yeah, the setup was phenomenal, kid. Phenomenal, kid. Download that 1 minute chart. I already got that 30-minute chart. You're next up. And it's just a sequence of literally going down from the 30-minute down to the 5 minute down to the 1 minute. Breaker. And it was the same exact setup as what silver gave. All right, yeah, bingo. Draw is hit. Like I mentioned, this is the actual draw, but you don't want to be greedy. You can get 1.5 R and chill. Take it, especially on a day like today. Download this. All right, cool. So that's all the notes from gold. I'm done looking at gold, and here goes that bearish pressure. Let me just clean up my chart. Go to the higher time frame because, well, actually, there's not much left. Gold is so bullish; it's already pushing right back to all-time highs. It's crazy. Gold, like I said, heavy metals. Only things I would consider buying at that current state. So 30-minute chart, 30-minute chart. Boom, boom, boom. All right, yeah. So the waiting game continues. I want to see exhaustion. No exhaustion. I will not be buying NASDAQ at these extremes. Just let it go. And yeah, hopefully everyone understood that gold setup. If you've had a good session so far, go ahead, like the stream. While we're at it, we are gonna wait a little bit to see if we get a clean move lower on NASDAQ or ES, right? So far, 2 trades today, really 3 technically, because I wanted to take silver, but I just never trade silver. Silver gave you, look at this, still going, bro. It might not stop for the rest of today. Maybe once gold takes out this all-time high, it could start to chop around, but gold offered the best trade so far. ES looks like it's ready to short, but NASDAQ continues to reach for this high. Maybe it wants to sweep this high for SMT. Who knows, right? NASDAQ is being weird here. I'm not sure why NASDAQ won't go bearish. Okay, so I'm going to wait this out, grab something to eat. Actually, I forgot to post this as well. 1 second. All right, so yeah, these are the two ideas going into the rest of today's session, right? You got the buys targeting all-time highs. If you're brave enough to hold it, that's about 2R. I'm out of my full position here at about 1.5R. However, the draw remains the same, right? So I would like to see this taken out. Price pushes down into here. I would expect these levels to hold and then send price back to the high. And then over here on NAS, I want to see this. We have, what is it? High, low, high, low. So essentially, I'm looking for price to get up under this yellow zone, start closing candles back underneath here, so I can start looking for a short. All right, if you have any questions, jump in the chat. I'm gonna make something to eat real quick while we wait. I'll put some alerts down in here actually for NASDAQ so that I don't have to stare at my screen. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right, nice. There we go. Alerts going off. Alerts going off. As I mentioned, I want to see lower on NASDAQ, specifically in this area. And now you see this pullback. I'm looking for price to start breaking this bullish structure and offer some sort of retest to continue lower. Doesn't get any simpler, right? So now we wait. The selling is confirming. So this is the first piece of the puzzle. I'll flip over to here, start taking this out of the way here. I'm gonna pay attention first off to how this 30-minute candle looks. All right, so we're looking at 8 minutes. So I don't expect this to just sell off for the free fall, right? I expect price to hang out in this area for the next 8 minutes while we wait for this 30-minute candle to close. Okay. There's nothing I can do until this candle closes. Okay, so that's the game plan there. I'm actually going to wrap it up for gold. I'll set an alert here just because I'm interested to see if we actually take that high today as my draw, right? We took out these internal highs, which could be enough, but realistically, I'm like, we're bullish. We're going to take that high, right? So now looking at ES, I want to know what is up. Yeah, we're chilling. Nothing to do here. I have to wait another 8 minutes. But if we do it in the sense of what we were mentioning before, right? We saw a few things happen here. Let me put this open price on the table. All right, so we saw a few things happen here. Oh my goodness, kid. What is this? We saw a few things happen where price gives us that first sign that this yellow area has sellers, where we see price stab into it here and give you that 1 minute break of structure. We take out that low. Now, when price pushes back to this area, I'm wondering what is price going to use to go lower, right? There was nothing in this area. There was just this previous high, right? That's why I said I want to see price get back underneath this yellow zone, retest it, and then show that resistance, right? Get back underneath here and then use it as resistance to go lower. That's the only idea for a short right now. Using this previous high as resistance. Right now, you can see there's resistance in the area, but there's no clear bearishness just yet. We get this break, which the break is only half of the problem, right? I need to see price retest and hold. Wow. So price continues to trade higher here. So I'm just gonna clean my charts up and sit back and wait for some sort of bearishness. As I mentioned, I'm not a fan of buying at these highs. So much rejection in these areas. Eventually you're going to see price start to reject, right? So I'll wait for that. Today's stream, I'll probably stream. Look at gold. Is that what's going on? Yeah, gold, just my alerts are going off on gold. I may buy gold again, guys. Let me see here. It all depends on how price responds to this. Here, take that off. It all depends on how price responds to this level here. Yeah, let's see how price responds in here. I'll put an alert up back above these red lines. Go to the 30-minute chart. All right, nice. All right, cool. So if price can start to flip this, EMA is pretty far away. It's tough. You just gotta give it a chance to retest this EMA, retest these bearish gaps, hold above here. I need to see some speed above here. There we go. There goes some speed. There goes a 16-point stop, and then just target the high. Another 1.3 R above this 10 p.m. price. I am considering taking this one again, and then I'll be done. If this gives another clean move, because for whatever reason, you see price continuing to trend over here. Looks like a scam if you ask me. Today's Monday. Let's check that 4-hour candle. Yeah, we're gonna print this massive fair value gap, and then price will literally be right back down in this area by tomorrow. More times than not, right? So So as you can tell, man, we're chilling once again, hoping that the next 30-minute candle gives some exhaustion. So 22 minutes left. Um, I think now is a good time if you're hungry, get some food, you know what I mean? Or just take some time to relax here. I will step aside until this candle closes. All right. And then from there, we should be able to get a decent trade. I mentioned it earlier, right? I said based on how the market opened up, where you see all these bullish candles in a row, it's going to be a while before we get a trade. I kind of already accepted that. And here we are, right? It's 11:40, no trade so far on the indexes. And a potential trade idea loading on gold. I have an alert set up here around 5,080. I want to see if price can get back above there with some speed, some strength, and that'll open the door for another buy idea if you ask me. Um, no buys going into the indexes for me today. I'm just looking for shorts only. So yeah, 20 minutes and we'll see. All right, so it looks like, man, looks like gold is probably going to be the next play again here. Because if I'm looking, I'm like, all right, let's say we do get this down close candle. Let's pretend this candle closes right here, right now with this bearish body. And I'm like, all right, what do we have to work with here from 11 to 12? What do you see? From 11, you see a low, a high. I would need to see this low taken out once again. Same profile, same exact profile that I was waiting for over here. Remember, I wanted to see this low taken out. We never take it out. I would need to see this low taken out. Blah, 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 blah. If it wants to, you know what I mean? Like I mentioned it time and time again. When the market wants to take its time, just let it take its time, bro. And gold is pushing. And I'm going to give this a stab here. All right, let's see. I want to see price get above this 10. It looks like we are above it. Long at 80. Stop about 18 points, right? Yeah, stop will be about 18 points. Yep. All right, I'm gonna long that there. Long that there. And I am going for a new high once again. And keep an eye on NASDAQ because I think we're still going to get a short there, but gold is just moving a lot cleaner right now. So see if I can take advantage of one more move higher here. Stops down here. And that'll wrap it up. Let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. And as I mentioned, we're just waiting for NASDAQ to show us something that makes sense, right? For lower only. I'm not buying it. Makes my day a lot easier, right? I don't have to sweat buying at these highs. I think I'm gonna hide most of this over here. Hide my drawing. Yeah, that'll clean up that view over there. Just looking for that high. Like I mentioned, I think we take this high, but we'll just see how price responds here. This will be my first target here. Oh, I guess I have my drawings off anyway, so yeah. So when price gets to that level, I want an alert, of course. 5102. And then I'm watching NASDAQ side by side for that flip bearish, where we have this high, this low, this high's put in. You want to see this serve as your swing point, right? And then this up close candle right here could serve as that move lower. And that's the game plan, right? It's 11:51. I'll be on stream until like 1 o'clock today at the latest. All right, so let's see if price wants to give a valid move in the meantime. I'm not really seeing much here, bro. It's just wasting time though, because we do have this 30-minute candle about to close. So let's watch this 30-minute chart. Yeah, this is still gonna close bearish if you ask me. 7 minutes left. Just give it some time here. All right, nice. So here we are, guys. It is 12:15 and still waiting on a short opportunity. I like this doji candle here. All right, if I'm just looking at candle structure, I like how price gave us this doji candle here, and I'm looking for a sell structure inside of this upper wick. Found a few areas that I like on the lower time frame here. This is at 11:30 wick, and you want to see that new 30-minute candle open up like it's doing now. Push up to this area, whether it be through it or whatnot, right? Doesn't matter. Just retest this area and then offer a break of structure. So here we push into the high. I like the wick close right back in the range. I like how we're putting in this short-term low here. If price can fail to make a new high and start breaking lows, that will be the first sign of bearish order flow. So that's what I'm waiting for here. 5-minute chart looks decent. You have this high, this low, and this high being put in. Now you want to see price start making new lows. Let's check the hourly for fair value gaps. All right, yeah, so that original gap is still open down here at 25,801. That's my target. That's my draw. And it looks like we're going to make a new low here as well. Let's check ES to make sure things are in sync. Oh, it's not ES, that's gold. Gold wasting time here. I kind of don't like how slow it's moving, but until we see a trade over here on NASDAQ, then I really don't want to be watching that. Let that do whatever it needs to do. Check on ES here. ES still hasn't made that low yet, and we ended up breaking this high. But ES looks a little bit bullish, guys. Yeah, this is not what you want to see if you're bearish. You want to see clean rejections, clean moves lower. That's your red line there. Yeah, guys, I don't think I'm going to end up trading the NASDAQ today. $11.30. Yeah, 11. Low, high, low, high. High, low, high. Yeah. You can't consider shorting any of this until price starts breaking structure. And the fact that we are closing through these areas here, I need to see price show a very strong sense of urgency to go lower. The longer it stays above this high, the more the shorts look unfavorable. So yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. As bad as I want to short, right? I can accept that I just don't see what I'm looking for, right? I'm not forcing it. The market wants to continue higher, so be it, right? So we're chilling here. I wish we could get some of that speed on the one that actually should be bullish, which is Mr. Gold. It's not terrible, but I'm looking for speed above this red line here. And from there, I want to see price immediately target this high. Immediately. Target number 1. All right, well, for now, I will sit back. I like the fact that NASDAQ is trying to give that bearish profile. We push into it. We maintain this high. We make a short-term low. We push into it. That looks fire. Don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. Why is ES pretending to be so bullish on the other hand? You see no lows being made. In fact, we actually make a new high. Right at 12. It's not too late. This could still go bearish though, right? We just need to see a very strong correction back underneath this range right here. And then the door is back open. But as of right now, if I'm just looking at what's available, I don't know if the shorts are going to hit. One thing's for sure, though, you can see price showing some sort of resistance in this area. You can see price is stalling. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks from this area on the 30-minute chart. That's 2 hours worth of rejection. And the buyers continue to push it up here. Yeah, I think we just may end up taking out that previous daily high here. Before we see any real sell pressure. Another 9 minutes remain in this 30-minute candle. It is officially getting closer to 12:30. I'll be wrapping up stream at 1 p.m. today. And as you can see, we have ourselves a tight range here on gold from literally midnight. Price has been in this area. You see midnight price here. Price has been in this range all morning. So now I'm starting to lose confidence in the idea that gold is ready to break out. All right, who knows what it's waiting for? That's the mystery of the markets, right? Price could literally just waste your time for no apparent reason. But price appears to be stuck in the range. Tomorrow we have nothing big on the table for news, so could be just a slow week overall. And 12 o'clock is here, right? We know that 12 o'clock volume typically helps us out. So this is a good time for me to think about break even, because if price starts trading back down in here, I don't trust that this is going to hold anymore. We've shown a lot of bullishness, but time distortion is a real thing where price will literally just stay in this area because it refuses to go higher during our session, right? Have to acknowledge time distortion. So if that's the case, I don't want this trade underneath 5,081. I'll happily cut this off at break even, actually. So that's that. Risk-free trade, even though it's probably going to stop me out. Just giving it a chance to stop being weird here and expand. You see the rejection off of these opening prices tells me that price may not care for higher just yet. However, we see that lower price doesn't care for lower either. So break even is a good idea here. Over here, I'm not seeing anything that I like on the NASDAQ. I'm bearish simply because of how high price is, and we've seen no pullback all morning. Look at this. From 9:30, price has been straight up with very tiny pullbacks. Okay, so I'm good on the buys at this point. So far, this will be trade number 3. We're in profit today. Clean trading session, if you ask me. I wish I could have gotten an entry over here somewhere, but NASDAQ isn't really the best price action today. What's going on with crypto today? Looks like I'm going to get stop break even on the last trade, guys. And I'll wrap it up there. I don't think it's worth waiting around. I don't think this short's going to happen anytime soon. maybe afternoon session or Asia, London, something like that. But I don't think New York session will get it. All right, I'm stopped out there across my other accounts and stopped out here as well. So let's see. What is crypto up to? Crypto is extremely weak. Come on, kid. Yeah, crypto's still weak. Ethereum slowly getting there. Sitting inside this bearish gap here. Bullish gaps down here holding up as well. So price is stuck in the range as well, similar to gold. Gold just stopped me out. I don't know. I might just trade silver, kid. Gold is, I don't like how gold just pick and choose when it wants to be volatile. Like, we know you're bullish, guy. You can't really hide that from me. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up there. Got some good notes today, some good entries over on our heavy metal charts. No trades on the equities today. Looks like price just really just wants to continue higher. Yeah, so you guys take it easy. I'll be wrapping it up here. And if you guys want a trade idea for later, as always, just wait for price to push into some sort of higher time frame bearish area. And if you look to your left, you see a bunch of rejection points, bearish areas, bearish gaps, bearish order blocks. As long as price is trading into one of those levels and you see price start to offer bearish exhaustion, aka bearish closing candles or doji candles, you can zoom down and start looking for structure in that candle to be retested and held. If it holds, you give it a chance to go lower. Very simple, right? I would avoid buys if I were you, unless you're buying gold. Look at this, bro. Oh, it's not that bad. It just, I would hate to see this wick back into here and then rip. If that's the case, break even may be banned from equities. Just let it play out. We'll see. I'll check back tomorrow, same time, 9:25, right before the opening bell. I'll be going live. And I will catch you guys next time. I have my screenshots. Yeah, notes are good. Everything's good. Hopefully everyone had a decent day. Not the most, going on, but still got the volume. As long as there's volume, there's an opportunity, right? So hopefully everyone ended up making some type of money on their prop accounts. I will catch you guys later.